said, let's take a look at our tail of the tape.
And here's the tail of the tape.
Our tail of the tape, we've got Tyler Feist. He's 20 years of age, 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds with an even amateur record of 2 wins, 2 losses. He is taking on Ramon Willis, 24 years of age, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 2 inches shorter than his opponent, 145 pounds with an amateur record of 4 wins with 1 loss.
We have one more fight in our amateur main event. After that, a brief intermission. We'll have the Death Star, Connell Worthy, coming in to talk about his next fight before we bring out the pros for the evening. All still to come. Our amateur main event is next.
Let's send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, to call in our next fighters.
We need now from the blue corner, Ramon Willis. Ramon Willis, no relation to our play-by-play man, I guess.
Different spelling.
Different spelling, Mike the Spike Willis with a similar name.
Are you color commentary or play-by-play? I may have mixed that up.
Heading to the cage right now, we've got Ramon Willis. He's the current Barbarian Fight Club featherweight champion. A well-established MMA fighter with 4 wins, 1 loss. His last fight was a win versus Alan Gurganis in October of last year via Kimura.
Despite the fact that our names have different spellings, mine ends in a US and his in an IS, I cannot help but have some favoritism towards a man who, has the same pronunciation in his last name.
Absolutely. Ramon Willis coming out right now, accompanied by our main event, Rocky Edwards, one hell of a fighter. Ramon Willis has ended every single fight he's ever been in via submission. Now that's win or lose. Every fight has ended via submission. He's 4-1, so that's 4 submission wins as an amateur fighter.
That's very impressive, and I am just wondering, what is he talking about?
That's a really good pun with the what you talking about, Willis. I've avoided saying that to you the entire time we've ever commentated together, but you just opened up a real nice can of worms there.
I just have been waiting my entire life to say that to someone else.
Melvin Britton giving a couple last words of advice to his buddy, Ramon Willis. You know, Ramon Willis is 5 feet 5 inches tall at 145 pounds. Very thick. He's a thick, muscular young man.
And this fight also contested with the shin pad rules, though Ramon Willis could fight without them.
And here comes Tyler Feist. 2-2, an even up fighter right now. Huge support from the crowd. A local man.
Obviously, he has sold a lot of tickets here tonight. Congratulations to Tyler Feist.
Tyler Feist has two decision wins. He's 2-2, so both of his wins have been via decision. His losses are 1 decision and 1 TKO. So he definitely can go the distance. We know that for a fact.
Yeah, and hard to finish, I guess.
Apparently so. His last fight was, he lost his last fight via TKO in June of 2013. So it has been, almost 2 years since his last fight.
Yeah, for a lot of guys, this isn't necessarily a career. They're going to train and fight when they can, when jobs, opportunities, allow them, when school opportunities allow them.
You know, Team Vicious is really coming out and showing their support tonight. I love whenever there's a local team and they're all kind of conjoined in their love of this violent sport.
It's a great feeling, honestly, when you are with your team and everybody is rooting for you and you're ready to go.
Tyler Feist entering the cage, looking confident. A lot of support from the crowd. Although it's only a 2-inch height difference, I have to say Tyler Feist looks much longer than Ramon Willis.
Yeah, he does look a lot longer.
Long and strong. Let's send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our amateur main event of the evening in the Gladiators of the Cage featherweight division, calling for 3 2-minute rounds. First we have fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 145 pounds. He stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall, 24 years of age, with a 4-1 record. He's an independent fighter from Lawton, Oklahoma. Please welcome Ramon, the Last King Willis. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 143.6 pounds. He stands 5'9", 20 years of age with a 2-2 record. He fights for Team Vicious from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Tyler Young Gun Feist! Your referee, Bill McClure.
Wow, people are yelling from both fighters. A lot of crowd support on both ends.
Ramon Willis from Lawton, Oklahoma. Very interesting. That's the home of Fort Sill, where I did my basic training in the Army to be part of the Artillery Corps.
Right, it was at a lead leg kick to start off the fight from Tyler Feist. Another one.
Another big leg kick there.
I have to wonder, is he a right-hand southpaw? A strong lead, if you will.
Not sure. I fight southpaw, but I am right-legged, so I'm pretty good at throwing that kick. And you know what? He throws it the same way.
A bit of a flick, not much of a wind-up. You know, Ramon Willis has to come in with the mentality that he is able to win this fight with his amateur record being what it is. I have to wonder if he has a lot of wrestling experience, if he's really schooled at the game of submissions with all of his submission wins.
If he's from Oklahoma, Oklahoma's a very strong wrestling state. Oh, very nice inside leg kick there. Really like the angle on that. There's an outside and an inside. And Willis shoots a takedown. And he's pressuring.
You want to bump the knee?
Feist has the whizzer and trying to get the undercook here and prevent this. So, Feist.
Wow.
Wow, that was a nice one. And he's around the neck.
This
Willis
is what I was talking
around
about.
the neck.
Ramon Willis is definitely a ground technician. We can see it here. He did a beautiful job ducking under and taking that back.
You know, he might have the jiu-jitsu here to get this done.
Full mount. Look for the armbar with that left arm being left out of Tyler Feist.
I would love to see him attempt that here. You rarely see submissions like that in the amateur level.
Tyler Feist able to regain half
Back
guard.
to half guard here. Willis looking for the Kimura grip here on Feist's right arm. Looks like he might have the Kimura grip. Oh, and it's stopped.
Wow,
here.
that's only
That's
too
the
bad.
end of the round.
His last win was actually via Kimura in October of last year, is Ramon Willis.
Honestly, with the somewhat limited striking of that round and Willis's, takedown and back take and then mount, I have to give the round to Willis.
100%. I would think there'd be little argument about that on anyone's part. Ramon Willis is just looking really confident, looking very relaxed and calm. I think he knows how to win this fight.
What can I say? Willis is a very strong fighting name, and, I support it fully.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. Willis.
Oh, well,
Get him off the stool. As long as he's off the stool, it's our time.
Round 2 coming up. Tyler Feist taking on Ramon Willis.
It's just our time to clean up.
Looks like the commissioner, Greg Serb, is in the ring. He is wiping up a wet spot, possibly spilled water from, Willis drinking, something like that. You don't want to leave water on the cage floor. I mean, a fight that could possibly end because somebody slipped because of water would just be, absurd. Nobody wants that. So spend the extra 20 seconds, wipe it up, and have a real fight.
Yeah, that would only be too bad if they had a slip and possibly a fight-ending issue.
Especially in a situation like this where it's not like you're giving one fighter the huge advantage because they were so hurt beforehand. And accidents are going to happen.
Really taking a good amount of time to wipe up this water. I could imagine more than one scenario where this would be advantageous for the opponents.
It could be, you know, if one of the opponents was exceedingly gassed beforehand. But honestly, in this situation, neither one of these guys are gassed. They're both ready to go. You know, I think Tyler Feist took slightly a worse round there, but
he's bouncing around.
He's bouncing. He's ready to rock. Like, neither one of these guys are tired. 2 minutes. They're both conditioned for this.
Absolutely. Both have proven themselves in the cage previously.
So here we go.
Round 2 is underway.
Willis, nice right hand.
Both fighters are just standing right in the pocket right now, trying to get off.
Kick.
I would say it's only a matter of about 30 seconds before Ramon Willis goes for that takedown again.
I think that's what his plan is.
That right lead leg kick of Feist is landing nearly every time he's throwing it.
He does that exactly right. It's a skip step out with that kick, and that's how you have to land it if you're a left-hander.
I will point out he drops his hands pretty significantly whenever he does throw that kick.
He does.
If Willis could time that properly, there might be a straight right coming down the pipe.
And that's one of my biggest fears when I throw that as a left-hander.
And
here's Willis
it
in. Big takedown by Willis.
On the back again.
Willis might be setting up a bicep choke here. He's got the arm in. Nope, it's out now. Willis just has full mount. Or the leg looks like it's a little captured, but this is basically mount.
And Ramon Willis in full mount now. Very high positioning.
That was a nice explosive takedown effort by him, and it's paying dividends.
And you can see Ramon Willis right now fighting the urge to just start unloading on the face of Feist.
Yeah, as we know here, to explain to the audience, he cannot punch to the face. The rules do not allow it.
Now, I believe Ramon Willis is qualifying to be a Tier 1 amateur MMA fighter in Pennsylvania, which would allow for punches to the face and would not need shin guards. I do not believe Tyler Feist is at that position yet.
No, you know what? And I think part of it is the amount of time since his last fight that prevents that.
Tyler Feist doing a great job standing back up, but Willis has him in space.
Wow. Huge takedown right in front of us.
That is the end of the second round. Another dominant performance by Ramon Willis.
Yeah, I absolutely have to give that round to Willis. The takedowns were just too much.
The takedown and the immediate advancement to back position, I mean, it's really impressive. I have to wonder how this third round is going to go, if it's going to be the same or if Feist is going to find a way to stay away from the takedown of Willis.
And I think if this fight were to have 3 or 5 minute rounds, Willis may have been able to finish that with a submission.
Ramon Willis' corner being very careful to not spill any water. Tyler Feist's coach is getting really into telling him what to do right now.
I think Feist has lost 2 rounds here, so he might need to finish here in the third.
I would agree with you 100%. It appears he's got some good striking, and that lead leg kick is setting up a lot of options as far as the hands.
He's got a nice lead leg kick.
There it is, that lead right kick into a straight left. Wow, a distracting stomp by Feist.
Interesting.
Don't see that very often.
Strategy.
Yeah. And there is the shot by Willis.
Shot and got in deep.
Really good job turning the corner. May end up in the guard of Feist.
Very limited offensive options here for Feist.
And you know, the stout body type that Ramon Willis has, I'm sure it affects the way that he's able to hold down his opponents. Feist being so long and lean, and Willis with such heavy hips, it makes it very effective as far as holding down your opponent after a takedown.
Sure.
Wow, and he's going for the arm triangle.
He's got the arm triangle and
standing.
standing, and he's got both legs up. I don't think he would care about falling to guard here.
And you know how much that would really weigh on the cardio of
the
your
arm triangle
opponent.
is out, and Feist tries a takedown, but I think Willis is going to reverse this and be on top, and there he goes.
Wow, he is really a good top gamer. In the half guard of Feist is Willis back into full guard.
Willis has good hips, good base, like just generally good ground movement, and that's really where everything comes from.
Oh wow, Feist looks like he's trying to lock up a guillotine.
You know, he's trying, but honestly, I don't think that arm is in. It's not good enough here.
No, we're really close to the end of the
Especially
third
from
round.
half guard.
And that is it. The third round is in the books, and it is going to go to the judges' scorecards between Tyler Feist and Ramon Willis here tonight.
And I have Willis ahead on the cards here, and I'm going to guess the judges don't see it any differently with the takedowns and the domination on the ground.
I would say so. You know, going into this fight, I really felt as if Ramon Willis came in knowing how he was going to win. He knew that if he got that takedown, he would dominate on the ground, and he did exactly what it appeared he wanted to do. He didn't miss a single takedown.
No, and his takedowns look good. He gets in fast, deep on the hips, and he knows how to finish those takedowns.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to keep you clued in, we're going to go to an intermission after this event, and then we're going to head into our pro fights for the evening. Let's take a look at our instant replay, Mike.
Sure.
Here we see a big flurry by Willis, and there is that dump of a slam. Notice how he gets the takedown and wastes zero time taking a good jiu-jitsu position.
And he just gets the arm right around the neck, threatening that choke.
Even if he's not landing that choke, the threatening nature of that is very, very taxing on your opponent.
It certainly is.
Let's go over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the judges' scorecard. Judge 1 scores at 29-28. Judge 2 and 3 both score at 30-27. For your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Ramon, the Last King Willis. We want to remind everyone, last chance is coming up very soon to get your 50-50 raffle tickets for the Matt Club, the wrestling gym we're helping support tonight. We'll be announcing the winner of that shortly. Our pro card is coming up and a few special guests. We're going to take a brief intermission at this time, visit the concession stand, see the vendors, get some t-shirts, and we will be back very soon. Also, local Pennsylvania MMA legend Jason the Whip Willett has joined us K-side and will be signing autographs. The young man with a cowboy hat, a legendary Pennsylvania martial artist. We'll be right back.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ramon Willis coming out victorious in our final amateur bout of the evening. I want to point out it appears that Ramon Willis may have injured his rib, and that is the reason why he wasn't in the cage. A true sign of sportsmanship by Tyler Feist for sticking around to hear the decision. Now let's go to a brief intermission before we enter into our professional fights of the evening.